You're listening to episode number 9 of the Wellness Real Estate Podcast. Today, you are in for a real treat because I've got the founder and CEO of Realty Sage on the show, Kari Klaus. If you aren't familiar with Realty Sage, it's a real estate search platform that helps market high performance and sustainably built homes. So it's kind of like a Zillow for green homes. Klaus's award-winning tech startup company showcases eco-certified homes and evaluates the features of millions of homes across the country and applies a Sage score based on the quality and quantity of a home's sustainable features, including whether or not it has clean energy, certifications, and overall sustainable design. There are quite a few home certifications currently out there, and the Sage score attempts to level the playing field so that it makes sense to the consumer. Bringing intelligence to big data, RealtySage is solving one of the largest problems to consumer adoption: education and return on investment, by shaping consumer behavior and improving the return on investment for homes with clean and smart technologies. This intelligence is being applied to professional services as well. Klaus recently expanded her vast database to include the RealtySage Pros platform, which already has nearly 150,000 agent profiles across the country. This referral service matches consumers based on their individual home buying and selling needs to agents based on their knowledge and experience. So if you're a real estate agent and you're looking for ways to attract quality leads, or you're trying to find ways to differentiate yourself, getting familiar with Realty Sage is an easy way to do this. So stay tuned to this awesome interview to learn how. Let's grow. Welcome to the Real Estate Marketing Podcast, where we explore a unique strategy no one is talking about that will enable you to engage more people with authentic conversations about your business more often. And it's called Wellness Real Estate. Not sure what that is or how it can help you as an agent? Well, that's what this podcast is all about. In fact, Wellness Real Estate is growing so rapidly that it is projected to be nearly $870 billion by 2027. I'm Sheila Alston, and I'm your host. I'm also the founder of Healthy Home Media, where I help agents all over the country leverage this new trend in the industry to spark new conversations that will get people to listen to you and notice your brand. So if you're tired of spinning your wheels without any leads or sales to show for it, then stay tuned. I guarantee this podcast is not like any you've heard before. Welcome to the Wellness Real Estate Podcast. Welcome, Kari. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here on the show.
Thanks. I really appreciate it and love to talk to fellow people who are interested in real estate and well-being and sustainability. Thank you for having me.
I know, and I'm so excited to learn more about Realty Sage. Can you tell us a little bit about it? I did a little intro, but I'd love to hear how it got started and what the problems you were seeing in the market that led you to create Realty Sage.
Absolutely. So long time ago, I did a renovation on my property, and I had begun my career in real estate and realized that there was going to be a huge problem when I went to sell my property, because I had put in all these really amazing sustainable features and made it more energy efficient and did all these cool things and spent way more money than I absolutely needed to, but realized there was going to be a huge problem if I ever went to sell the property. Even if my MLS allowed me to put information about it, the major real estate sites out there would never really expose that information to consumers to let them know that I'd done all these really cool things that would help benefit them. So that's sort of the long story condensed.
Right. So it's really a problem. It's a sad problem. And I feel like people don't want to do some of these energy efficient features because they feel like there's no value, but there is.
There is value. There's tremendous value. So Realty Sage was sort of born over time, actually. So it's sort of a long time ago, in my head thinking, well, how do we solve this problem? Because this is a tremendous problem for both sellers, homeowners, right? And it's a really big problem for buyers. They're not getting the full picture of what's happening with these homes. And then since I did that renovation, which was pre-2010, technology in homes have really evolved. And so has Realty Sage. In fact, it began as a company called Viva Green Homes, actually, and started very simplistically, a little tiny brochureware site. And I thought, And I said, okay, so I'm going to have listings on here and I'm going to try and rank them and show, okay, if homes have these certain features, you know, they get so many stars, and sort of working on this algorithm. Over time, you know, as more technology came into the market, more mandates on properties came out there, like California has now mandates for solar and zero energy efficiently built homes. So evolved the company and became RealtySage. And we looked at how do we take all the evolution of homes and make sure that they're being properly marketed. It's a huge industry, real estate is. So there needs to be evolution in the real estate industry to coincide with the evolution of technology in homes. So RealtySage, in a nutshell, is really the next generation of real estate. We are working on making sure we have the next generation of homes, these more technologically advanced homes, sustainably built, and they're far superior. And so basically it's a marketplace, a little bit like Zillow, but we don't like to always compare ourselves to Zillow. And we provide what's called a Sage score on all the listings. And the Sage score is an algorithm consisting of a review of hundreds of potential features inside and outside the property to consider whether the home has, whether solar, for example, it has certain kinds of insulation systems, appliances, whether it's near transportation, all sorts of different elements that help make a home more livable, whether that's healthier, whether it's more sustainably built, locally sourced materials, whether it's cost more efficient as well. I mean, a lot of these things, you know, are good for the environment and good for your pocket. So the Sage score really does evaluate just so many different features, and it's a score between 1 and 100 plus. And so you can go on there and have more of an apples to apples comparison.
Yeah, I love that because it's actually really confusing. There's so many different certifications. There's like HERS and Pearl certification and the HEAS score, and then how many certifications are there actually?
There is a lot of certifications. So you can have homes that aren't even certified that can be really amazing properties, right? And they don't even have a certification. And then you walk into all the properties that have certifications. There's Energy Star and LEED and Passive House. And what's the difference? What is the difference in all these properties? And that's what we help actually balance that out. So we don't compete against any certifications. We're not a certifier. We help explain to consumers what's the difference between a LEED certified home, an Energy Star certified home, and ones that are not, don't have any certifications.
I love that. I love that. It's kind of and then an even playing field and helps consumers understand, because some of those scores are difficult to understand. Some of them run backwards and some of them run, forward. So
I have a funny story about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
So one of my favorite stories to tell is about one of those scores that you're talking about that run backwards.
Yes, yes.
Nobody loves like getting a 0 and thinking that's a good thing. The HERS score is a home energy rating system score, and that rates the efficiency of a home, and it's different. It's really different. So it runs backwards. The higher score, the worse your home is.
Yes. Well, because you want to be net zero is what they're thinking of.
Exactly. So there's this really wonderful story about this agent who had posted her property in the MLS. And a friend of mine went in and said, oh, wow, it's got a 0 rating. That's really good. That means it produces as much energy as the homeowners are consuming. So basically it has solar or geothermal, and so your utility bills are essentially 0, right? It's amazing. It's a really great house. And she starts looking at it a little bit more and she goes, oh, it's built in the 1970s. This is suspicious already. A little bit more. It goes, oh, the house doesn't really look like it's had anything done since the 1970s. Calls up the listing agent and says, hey, so I see this property got a HERS rating of 0. This is usually typically amazing. And she's talking to the agent. She says, well, yeah. I don't know what HERS is. So I just put a 0 in the MLS to basically say, nullify the field, right? So this sort of is part of the problem that I'm trying to solve as well, because there's, even when we have the opportunity to share information to the consumers, sometimes it's not right. Sometimes there's misinformation. And again, not intentional, of course, but that's exactly the problem that consumers are facing, is how do they even know which scores went forward or backwards, and what do they mean?
Yeah, that's wonderful. So do you share some examples now, because it sounds like you've had this company for several years now. Do you have some stories of homeowners you've helped?
Yeah, we've actually had a whole slew of stories. I had this listing agent who was working on a property that was very energy efficient, practically a net zero energy property. And she says, I have this great listing. I have no idea how to make sure, and I understand what the benefits of this property is, but I have no way of really conveying that to the potential buyers out there. How can we do this? And I said, okay, we got you covered. No worries.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, we're going to feature you in our newsletter. We're going to make sure people understand. We're going to give you a Sage score. We're going to work on this. And this is just sort of very typical. The agent can put any listing free of charge onto the site, RealtySage.com. They get a Sage score. Featured listing and other things are a little bit more, you have to pay a little bit for those advanced features. But we then help them promote the property more accurately. Well, what happened was she went back to her homeowner and she said, okay, so I've got you all on the RealtySage site. It's looking really good. The homeowner was so incredibly happy with this situation. She says, well, I want more.
Yeah.
I want more. What else can we do? And so the agent calls me back up and says, okay, so happy with what's going on with RealtySage. What else can we do? And I have an open house coming up this weekend. And I said, well, good news. We have what is called our Sage Score marketing materials, which is automatically produced, where the agent can download their certification and materials that they can put in different rooms. And so they can say, okay, so in the kitchen, we have these certain systems, and this is what it means. Not just that we have, energy efficient refrigerator and dishwasher and low flow and sink faucets and things like that. This is what it actually means to, the buyers that are walking through the rooms. So we really help expedite that education for potential buyers. And so they were all very, very happy. The open house went very, very well. And the house went under contract, which is really great. And, another one, I think people talk about value. Value in homes is super important. Getting your return on your investment, right? You're putting in lots of money into our homes in different ways, either time or actual renovation and cost. Let's make sure we get a return on investment. So another story is recently I got a phone call from somebody. And they said, oh my gosh, I just have to tell you personally how incredibly happy I am with the agent that we referred them to. So we have part of our company is called RealtySagePros.com, where we take information about real estate agents and their knowledge and experience, and we connect them to the buyers and sellers who are looking for much more experienced and knowledgeable agents in their area. And we have close to 150,000 agents across the country with these profiles. So it's really great. So we were able to connect her with an agent, and she calls me up and says, I am so happy. She says, we're closing. And I got to tell you, I was working with another agent, and they had, proposed to put it on the market for under $1 million for this property, right? And she says, but I got referred to this other agent from you all, and my God, we are closing with close to 15% more than the other agent thought we were going to get. So the agent that we referred her to would really help to market the property much more accurately.
Yeah.
So it ended up being a great experience for pretty much everybody. So our RealtySage Pros, which was just launched last year, has been kind of an extension of our website and the listings. And so far we're doing very well.
I love it. I love it. I mean, I have personal experience too. Yeah, so I just had a listing recently and I promoted the solar system. I got a Pearl certification for the home, and I promoted the waterless, or the whole house water filtration system, and all of the energy efficient systems. And everybody loved the idea of being able to save money and having a more comfortable home environment. And the homeowner was actually a health coach. And so she was very particular on using toxin-free cleaners, and the person who bought the house had a brand new newborn, and so they were all about having a toxin-free home, and they were all excited about that. And I even said that it was one of the healthier homes in the neighborhood, and you know, it sold really fast. This is a seller's market, so I expected that it would sell fast and get multiple offers, but we sold it for well above what anybody has ever sold in the neighborhood. So so it was great, and I'm sure that it had a lot to do with how we were marketing it.
Yeah, it is true. In fact, National Association of Realtors, you know, they do these consumer surveys and reports every year, and buyers really do value these things. They actually say, I am willing to pay more for these things. I'm willing to pay more for more efficient windows, systems, appliances, you know, and definitely, you know, people care about the health of the home. They understand now that you know, having better air quality in home is good, not just for the health, but it's just more comfortable. And you know, there's actual data behind what you're saying. It's not a whole story, I promise.
But there's still so many realtors out there that say people don't care about the LED lighting, or people don't care, and they just won't really, they'll mention it a little bit like as you're walking through, but they wouldn't put it in any of their materials or anything. I think that's unfortunate.
Well, it's unfortunate for both sides, right? It's really unfortunate for when the agents or even the homeowners feel that maybe it's not really as important. And I get it. You know, there are other things that are much more important when you're looking at real estate. You need to look at location. You need to look at your budget. You know, if you need to be near schools or your work or things like that, there are higher priorities, right, to start off with. You know, how much can you actually afford and your preferred location. So I get that. But when we get into actually looking at properties and what fits a certain lifestyle, these details really do matter. And I know that some agents and homeowners may not think so, but that's just cutting the education process short, really. Mm-hmm. You're not saying, you know, when you have a buyer that comes in, you say, yeah, no, the kitchen looks pretty. Oh, but let me tell you more. Let me tell you why this kitchen will do better for you, right? Mm-hmm. Or why this systems now that will save you money every single month and provide you cleaner air at the same time, and do all these things will help you have a better living and lifestyle in this home. So I think that's I think that the mentality on this is changing. There's just an incredible amount of education. That's why really you don't see other platforms out there that are really big, that are actually providing more information. They're cutting the education process short, which is really unfortunate, but that is actually exactly the problem that I'm trying to solve. I realize that the real estate industry is changing, and we've got to make sure people understand how things are changing.
Well, yeah, did you hear the news that wellness real estate has actually doubled since 2017? So it used to be valued at $134 billion, but now it's $275 billion.
I believe it, yay.
Yeah, I mean, that's mostly new development that's happening, of new neighborhoods that are wellness lifestyle neighborhoods. But as these neighborhoods are being built, I really believe that, you know, homeowners of existing homes are going to want to live in healthy homes too. And so there's a huge opportunity to help homeowners learn how to create a healthier home, and then to market that healthy home. It does matter, and there is value in that, and so I love what you're doing, and I think that you're on to something big.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. Again, the company has definitely grown over the years and has evolved. We've been national winners in the Clean Tech Open competition, regional and national. And, you know, I get a chance to talk with a lot of people in panels and even in embassies in different parts of the world about you know, what's happening in the United States and how we're changing, how sustainability is actually making a difference in our different industries, and most especially in our homes and the real estate industry. So yeah, things are improving, you know, it's just wonderful to have other people who are approaching the industry in different ways, right? People like you look at, you know, kind of the health and well-being of properties, and we definitely take that in consideration.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I mean, I just think that 150,000 agents that you already have on your list agree with you. So, and that's still just not very many agents if you think of how big the country is. So you need more agents to refer these people to.
Yeah, actually, we'd love to have as many agents as would love to join us, obviously. So we actually offer a totally open platform. If you're an agent who is interested in connecting with buyers and sellers, it's totally free, which is amazing. You can join the platform, just fill in your profile, go to RealtySage.com, fill in your profile information, sign our brokerage referral agreement. So we do have a referral process, which most agents really love. So it ends up being a really great situation where we have buyers and sellers that come to the site, fill out what they're seeking, and then we use our data based on the agent's profiles to match them. So not every buyer and seller, by the way, is like an off-grid person. So, you know, don't feel intimidated if you're just sort of interested in getting into this kind of, it's a niche now of the real estate industry, but feel free to join and say, you know, I've worked with some energy efficient properties, or I've gotten an eco broker certification or NAR green designation. Those are really great things that if you haven't gotten them already, if you're an agent, you should look into getting a credential, and then go ahead and you can connect to buyers and sellers.
Yeah, no, I love that. They definitely should, because we need more green agents out there. But I like what you said, that I think sometimes agents feel like, oh gosh, but I don't know everything. And I really don't think you need to know everything. You just need to surround yourself with other green partners. You know, get to know a green builder in your area, get to know a green appraiser in your area, find out about green mortgages and find a lender who'd be willing to do that. You know, find out who you have that's an energy efficient HVAC person, or someone who could do a blower door test. And you have that kind of toolkit around you, then guess what? Now you're like an awesome you know, green agent who has that expertise and that knowledge that not every agent has.
No, it's just great information. It honestly, you know, learning the different aspects of homes, so that when you're talking to your buyers and sellers, it shows that you're really an expert, a local expert for people. You're going to win more business. Honestly, you're going to be able to show up to the listing appointment and say, okay, I took a look at your property, and these are the extra things that I think matter to marketing your property. The sellers are going to love that. You know?
Yeah, think about how different your listing presentation is to somebody else if you can actually find more value in their home.
Exactly. And the same with buyers. If you can walk into a property and help them understand how that property might actually fit what they're seeking, you're going to have more successes, you know, more transactions. So it's just a great thing to advance your career anyways. But, you know, again, joining our company's referral program really helps you get even more buyers and sellers connected to you. So it's a real win-win situation.
So tell us again, they can go to RealtySagePro.com if they're interested in looking to become an affiliate. It's not an affiliate, it's just a pro broker.
Yeah, they can go to RealtySagePros.com with an S.
Okay.
.com. That's our section of the website that connects the buyers and sellers with their agents. But they can just go to RealtySage.com. We have a section there where agents can begin the process, learn more information, just follow the pros menu bar, and they can learn about the referral program and how to fill out their profile. It really doesn't take a lot of time, by the way. Filling out your name and some information about your work and in the real estate industry, and signing a referral agreement, and that's really it. And you got started. So
do you have pretty much every home that's in the United States? Does it show up on RealtySage, or do people you have to put in?
I wish we could get there. We do not have every single home. Now, I wish we do, but we are connected to one of the largest MLSs in the country, which is the Bright MLS, which is in the Mid-Atlantic area around Washington, D.C., including Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Virginia, West Virginia. I'm probably missing a few states. So we do have all those properties, and it's one of the largest MLSs. But in addition to that, though, we have listings and referrals that happen all over the country. And we even have occasional international listings and referrals that happen. So it's just because we don't, you come to the site and you might not see all the listings. We definitely have quite a few listings, in California, for example, that people go and say, okay, so yeah, in my area, I'm able to at least see 20 or 30 listings, that show up as green.
You're growing too. I mean, what's your vision? Your vision is to have all the homes in there eventually. Like Zillow didn't start out with having every single home, I bet, and now they do.
Yeah, and then not even every single home. There's actually people who don't ever put their properties in MLSs too.
Oh.
So yeah, so it varies. I mean, they have a lot though. I'm not going to say they don't. The vision is there's a number of different ways that we can go as far as a company. Our two different platforms right now, RealtySage Pros and RealtySage, have unique qualities amongst to themselves. We hope that RealtySage Pros, for example, right now we have real estate agents, but we have a lot of other eco pros who are dying to be on it, and people who are wanting to come and search for professionals to help them build their tiny home, for example. We have lots of those people, and people who want to have appraisals done or have energy audits done. So we hope to definitely expand the RealtySage Pro section to go beyond just finding a real estate agent, to find other professionals so people can connect across the country.
Because then it can help. Sometimes realtors don't know where to find them either.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's tricky. I think we definitely plan to be a platform that can help connect a lot of other individuals and companies in the eco real estate sector.
Yeah, I just started a free Facebook group. And I just renamed it to Wellness Real Estate Industry Partners. So I should invite you to that. Yeah, and then what's your vision for the main site?
The main site, I think we might end up doing something very interesting with our algorithm, our Sage score. It might be able to be applied to other sites eventually. That could be kind of cool. Or we can expand and include the, more listings and do that kind of growth as well. There's a few different options that we're exploring. So we'll see.
So right now it's just listings. It's not homes that aren't for sale. It's just homes that are for sale.
Just homes for sale. We are going to make sure we have more rentals available and things like that. And so no, not homes that aren't for sale. Okay. And yeah, right now the Sage score gets applied to everything. All the properties that come on the site. So yeah, again, outside of the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area and a few states around there, most of the other listings are actually green in nature.
Oh yeah. Well, it'd be hard to have the homes that aren't for sale on there because how would you even get that data for all of those homes? So it's good you're starting with the homes for sale. So at least you can get all of that data to apply the score to.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, I love what you're doing, Kari. Thank you so much for sharing about RealtySage. If you're a realtor out there, I suggest you go to RealtySagePros.com and go sign up.
That'd be great. Thank you so much. It was wonderful speaking to you.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you learned something new that will inspire you to think about your branding and how you can market yourself a little differently. If you enjoyed this episode, then you're going to love what I have for you, because you don't need to wait to go get extra certifications or to grow and expand your network to get started attracting those new leads right now. You can simply begin by talking about wellness real estate trends and what you've learned on this podcast with others. I mean, this is pretty interesting stuff that no one has heard about, and I have all the tools that can make it even easier for you. Wellness Real Estate Magazine is a brand new wellness lifestyle magazine, and it's the only magazine that brings health and home together. We educate readers on industry trends and how to create a healthier home environment, written by industry experts around the country. And we have 3 covers to choose from: Wellness RE, Healthy Home, and Wellness at Home, so you can easily find one that aligns with your unique brand and messaging. These magazines are the perfect done-for-you tools that help you not only stay top of mind, but they educate and engage your audience, which positions you as an industry expert. Differentiate yourself and grow your brand the easy way. Learn more at healthyhomemedia.com.